Well, hello everyone. My name is Dominique Lyone, coming to you from Sydney today. I'm very excited that the program that Douglas has created, Ignite Your Ikigai Zone. It's a great 3-day program, and Ikigai Zone has a number of pillars as part of it, and I'm going to make a few short videos to highlight some of these pillars. So the first one that we want to cover today is embracing chaos. So chaos is is something that we all experience at some point, many times, and learning to embrace it. And during chaos, lots of learning occurs. So embracing it and knowing how to live with it is critical and a very helpful thing in life. Chaos happens to us in all sorts of areas of our lives. It could be a health situation that puts us into chaos. It could be our fitness level that puts us into chaos. It could be something to do with a relationship, within our financial situations. There's many areas that kind of create chaos, and most of us in our lives have some kind of chaos going on at some point. And one of the big ones that creates chaos for us is family expectation. And of all the chaos that we could talk about, today I'm choosing to talk about the family expectation piece. So family, as we grow up, we want to do the right thing by the families and the members around us. So they create lots of expectation. This is even higher, more visible, if you like, for immigrant families, and they're expecting us to do many things, perhaps within schooling, within our university, who we should marry, who we should be involved with, what work we should be doing. Lots of expectation put on a person, on a young person normally, and that creates all sorts of issues in not really knowing which direction to go. So the mind kind of goes into overheat or into chaos. Mom says something, dad says something else, uncle says something else, teacher says something else, friends say something else, trying to match the mom and dad's traditional world, if you like, with a current world creates all sorts of chaos in life. And at the end of the day, what sometimes happens with that, because they're coming at you from so many different areas, you end up going into what I call a stuck state. So because you don't know where to go, you end up being stuck and going nowhere. So talk a little bit more about that today. I think the program addresses that really well and enables you to kind of unpack that more and support you in making your own decision. I know myself, having been born in Egypt and coming from Egypt, there's lots of expectation from my parents as to what I would do and how I should treat my life. Probably the best example that I have in my circle is my wife Mara. She was born in Italy and raised in Canada, and lots of expectation about what girls should be doing versus boys and so on. And at school she always dreamed of traveling the world and exploring the planet. And of course, for a young Italian girl, that was never going to be possible, because mom and dad would say, no, what you really need to be doing is get married. So for a young single woman to leave and travel the world, that is a big no-no. So this created massive chaos in that family, lots of passion from all sides. Mara being passionate about traveling, dad and mom being passionate about it's not right for a girl to be traveling on their own. And so this created chaos, yelling, screaming, arguments, and so on, to the point where the father put out an ultimatum and said to her that if you continue to think about traveling, or if you go to travel, then you won't be allowed home again. And that happens to a lot of us, and then we end up kind of perhaps living less of a life, or not living our best life, or the life that we want to satisfy somebody else, and that continues, if you like, the chaos along the way. So not long after that ultimatum, Maya tells the story where she was crying all night and finally woke up in the morning and made a decision to go, the first time in her family that anybody had ever gone against the parents, and she was going to travel regardless of what happened. And of course, her father never gave her a blessing, but so at the age of 24, she buys a ticket, gets on a plane, and guess what? She travels to Australia, arrives in Australia, gets over jet lag, goes into a shopping center, asks for direction, gets into a conversation, gets invited to a party, and guess what? That was my birthday party. That's how we met 3 days after her landing, and really, and that here it is 34 years later, and we're still going strong. So I think that it's the reason I'm telling you this story is because regardless of family expectation, it's important that we end up exploring what we want to do in our lives. And if chaos is occurring in your life, it's likely that the reason that this is occurring is that you need to make some major decision in what you're doing. So usually chaos, right in the middle of chaos, is an opportunity. There's a seed in a new world or a transformation. So I think the Ikigai zone delivers that really, really well, because most programs, if you like, are quite focused on what I would call left brain exercises, and chaos is an emotional thing to deal with. And I know that Douglas doesn't shy away from it. He kind of attacks that emotional piece, which is a critical piece for human growth and human transformation. And the reason I know that is because I've heard it from people saying they've had some major transformation from the program. Chaos is something that it's inevitable. You can't avoid it. So learning to deal with it is the best way. Chaos puts you into what I call a reactive stage. You're almost like, an intelligent person can go googa because they're in this chaotic stage and can't activate their front lobe, or can't activate their smartness to overcome it. So understanding how to deal with that and seeing where that's coming from is critical, and it's one of the tools that Douglas offers in his program. So if it's feeling like it's turbulent, or in the middle of a storm, which is another way of explaining chaos, then this Ignite Your Ikigai Zone is going to support you in digging into that a little bit more. So hopefully we've covered this subject today. I think we're going to do a second pillar real soon. So I hope to see you soon in Singapore. Thanks for watching.